how's it going? Welcome to another video. God, I look a bit rough today, don't I? Oh well, don't worry about it. I'll shave afterwards. Welcome to another video. Welcome to a contest entry. So the other day, my good buddy Levi, also known as Thrash Maniac 99, surpassed 5,000 subscribers. That's pretty impressive, bro. Well done. I didn't realize your channel had been going for so long. 2009, I heard you say. 2010, 2009 in the, in your video. Yeah, interesting that you were doing wrestling stuff and all that other stuff. I was like, oh, fascinating. It reminded me of when my YouTube channel as well dates back to 2009, which has some really interesting beginning content, shall we say. But yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, well done to 5,000 subscribers, my bro. Massive achievement. Let's get it up to 10. I'm super excited for you. So for those who are unaware, the channel just hit 5,000 sub and he's asked us for a contest to show some albums more or less in the same vein as George's Room of Rock, where Levi has asked us to spell out his full name, Levi McIntyre, showing bands / albums. So we show up an album with the letter L, E, V, I, etc. So I saw this and I was like, yep, immediately I'm going to jump on this because contest entries are fun, especially when they're for people who, I wouldn't say no personally, obviously I've never met them, but like, you talk to every now and then and it's like, tiny bit of a personal touch, you could say. But yeah, we're just going to get straight into it because why not? It's always good fun to just get straight into it. I realized straight away in my collection that, believe it or not, both my CDs and my LPs out in the lounge, they're not the most extensive albums. So I don't actually have anything band-wise that starts with L. I found a CD that started with L, Typos, Life is Killing Me, but I was like, nah, I've talked about that before. So I quickly scanned. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're starting with L. I've gone for Iron Maiden because it's me, obviously. The L I've chosen is their monstrous live album, Live After Death, from 1985. This celebrates 40 years in October. I'm pretty sure it's like October 14 or something like that when it was released. But yeah, absolute monumental staple live album for the band and live albums in general across the board. This thing is absolutely monstrous. Maiden could do no wrong at this point. We have the awesome debut. We have Killers. We then have Bruce Dickinson turn up with Number of the Beast, which was astronomically great. We have Peace of Mind, which introduced Nico and took the band to another level. And then they did Power Slave, which took them to the States and conquered everything. And then they put it all on a live compact disc, even though this is an LP. They put it on a live recording, and my God, to this day, it is still one of the greatest live albums of all time. Killer set list, and they redid it for Flight 666 pretty much, and even that was just awesome. But this band in their prime, honestly, Aces High, Minutes to Midnight, Trooper, Revelations, and Icarus, just back-to-back staples of Maiden's history. Side 2, Ancient Mariner, Power Slave, and Number of the Beast. Again, great stuff there. Hallowed, Iron Maiden, the song, Run to the Hills, Running Free. That's the end of the Long Beach gig, and then you get the second disc in the CD, or you get the fourth side of the LP. You get Wrathchild, Acacia, which the side 4 was recorded in the Hammersmith Odeon in England, in London, England. Wrathchild, Acacia Avenue, Children of the Damned, Die With Your Boots On, and Phantom of the Opera. What a great way to end an amazing album with Phantom of the goddamn Opera. It's an amazing song. You know me, it's my favorite Maiden song of all time. So yeah, L, Iron Maiden, Live After Death. Go check it out if you're unfamiliar with how amazing this album is. E, we're talking about my favorite folk metal album of all time, Ensiferum, and their 2007 release, Victory Songs. I've talked about this album a bit on the channel, but honestly, considering the amount of love I have for it, I don't talk about it enough. If you haven't heard this album, I would highly recommend, I don't even care, you stop this video now and go jam this thing. It's the perfect example of folk metal, in my opinion. You've got beautifully sung, catchy choruses with harsh, incredible vocals in the verses. The folky solos are there. The instrumentation of orchestration is there. The epicness is there, especially on an album like Victory Songs. Like, you can't beat it. Honestly, Ad Victorian is a fantastic intro. All Ensiferum albums start with, build up orchestral pieces, and Ad Victorian is one of the best. Blood is the Price of Glory, fantastic stuff. Deathbringer from the Sky, those intro chords are enough to say how good it is. Atty is pretty awesome. One More Magic Potion is like a really incredible folk like it's incredibly folky, that one. Wanderer, you could say, is like the ballad of it. It's slower, it's mid-tempo, it's got more epicness to it. Raised by the Sword and The New Dawn, those two are kind of fillers, but Raised by the Sword is great. The chorus melody in there, I think, is awesome. And then the 10-minute epic title track, Victory Songs. Just, again, just listening to that, go listen to that song, and if you're intrigued by that, then give the whole album a listen. So yeah, E, Ensiferum, Victory Songs. I just realized I could use that for V as well. But no, the one we're using for V is Venom's debut, Welcome to Hell. I almost pulled out black metal, but just for something different, to be honest, but I was like, nah, when it comes to those two at least, this one is just king. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of the best. It's not really a black metal album per se in terms of like what black metal is and how it sounds. That's like saying that Motorhead are a black metal band. Do you know what I mean? In terms of what black metal is, it doesn't really sound like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's an aggressive new wave of British heavy metal, fast punk infused album with satanic content. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's satanic doesn't necessarily mean it's automatically black metal. 1981, so black metal didn't exist at the time, but like, yeah, it was faster, it was more aggressive, it's obviously more offensive, it's in your face more, and it's ugly, but it's amazing. 1981 at its finest. Sons of Satan, honestly, amazing stuff. Welcome to Hell, the title track, just boss in itself. Schizo, Mayhem with Mercy, yeah. Poison, Live Like an Angel, Die Like a Devil, great song, that one, always like that. Witching Hour, one of my favorites off that one. 1000 Days in Sodom, absolutely amazing. Angel Dust, In League with Satan. I've heard people roast that song, but no, I don't know why. That song is probably my favorite off this album. In League with Satan is just incredible. Probably for how chanty and almost tribal it sounds, do you know what I mean? And then yeah, Red Light Fever, just fantastic stuff. If you're a black metal fan but you've never heard where the actual origins came from, listen to this. And then if you like this, go to their second album, Black Metal. It's really cool. For the first eye, there's 3 eyes in this video, so that was fun without trying to choose Iron Maiden for everything. For the first eye, we're going for a local band from my neck of the woods, literally my hometown, Imperial Slave, with their second album, Still at Large. So these guys are what I call melodic death, okay? They're not as melodic as, like, say, Amon Amarth or whatever, but I've compared the vocal styles to Amon Amarth. It's that harsh, raspy stuff. One of my best mates is the drummer for this band, and I've seen them live, I think 3 or 4 times over the years. And yeah, every time I bring this band up, I say the same thing. They've taken New Zealand by storm. Any major overseas act that comes to New Zealand, you can guarantee that these guys are on the bill to open for them. You know, they opened for Nile, but not while Nile were here. They opened for Nile on their Japan tour, which was cool. They opened for Suffocation here. They've opened for Vader. They've opened for a bunch of others that I should have written down, and I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know more because I go to the effort to remember this stuff. Yeah, they've been to Europe twice. They followed Flesh God Apocalypse on their first European tour, and they've just come back from their second European tour, doing festivals and whatnot. Honestly, melodic thrash death metal, it's great. This album is sort of concepty. It's not really a concept, but it's loosely concepted around like the worst kind of people in the world. You know what I mean? Slave or Death, Who Rules? Oh yeah, Slave or Death, Who Rules the World? Still at Large. The title track is about the Son of Sam. Those Who Serve. Exterminate is about the Jews in the concentration camps. Origins, 536 is about samurais, I'm pretty sure. Blood Moon Sonata is their first breakaway from pure just go thrash. It's like a metal piano piece. And Priestiality, which I think is a fantastic word. Yeah, if you like melodic death, if you like brutal stuff, go listen to this. They got 2 albums out. This is the second one. This and the first one, they're very good. So yeah, highly recommended. Imperial Slave for the first eye. And then we get onto the bro's last name, McIntyre. So we got M. Now I could have gone for D Mysterious, I could have gone for Metallica, could have gone for Megadeth. However, I've gone with Mayhem, but I've gone with Death Crush. Just cause, you know, we all know how D Mysterious goes. We don't need to talk about it. This is a fun little listen if you're in the mood for static, terrible white noise music. Honestly, it's one of the roughest demo EP thingies I've ever heard. You keep in mind, my underground black metal knowledge is pretty, entry level. So in the likes of, what's that guy's name that starts with E? You know the one. It's nothing like that. But yeah, as this album is incredibly infamous just because it's Mayhem's origins. You know what I mean? Absolutely, you've got the pure fucking Armageddon demo, but like this this is just great, honestly. Like, it's pretty awesome. It's nothing fancy at all. Like I say, it's entry level Mayhem. Do you know what I mean? The part that isn't entry level is the sound. Obviously, you have to get used to how this sounds. But it's literally like 24 minutes long, so it's not a hard listen to get through at all. But yeah, Death Crush, Chainsaw Gods Fuck, Sylvester Angfang, which is the little drum intro that they used. Gong, 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 gong. You know, that's always fun. Witching Hour, which is a cover of the Venom song that I just talked about before. Necrolust is great. And yeah, like I say, it's not exactly a stacked album per se, but it's just fun to listen to when you want something rough and raw. So yeah, Mayhem, Death Crush. Celebrates its anniversary on August 16, which is in like 3 days. So 1987, pretty sure. C. Karak Angren from Denmark, I'm pretty sure. This is a awesome little fun concept album called Dance and Laugh Amongst the Rotten. This is symphonic black metal, sort of in the same vein as like Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth type stuff, but it's a lot more focused on folky folklore storytelling type stuff. This is a concept story about a little girl who plays with an Ouija board, who then throughout the albums summons spirits and ends up getting possessed. You know, it's quite King Diamond-y in terms of storytelling, but it sounds nothing like it because it's like symphonic black metal. Why I bought this album, I'll never know. I think I heard Charlie, which is the second song, technically the first song because the first song is opening, and it's just fun. It's just, you know, it's filth without Denny's vocals, if that makes sense. But yeah, Charlie is a fantastic song. That's the song about the girl finding the first spirit, Charlie. Blood Queen, Charles Francis Coughlin, that's another spirit that she raises from the dead. Song for the Dead. En de Naam van de Duivel, that's fun. The Possession Possesses, and three times Thunder Strikes. Honestly, it's great. The final lyric in this album makes it eerie, you know, a bit of fun. The final lyric is like telling the listener that now that you've opened the CD, you know, you've also unleashed the spirits that we were singing about in this album. It's a bit corny, but it's black metal. I love it. Karak Angren, Dance and Laugh Amongst the Rotten. Immortals debut album, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Sorry, I had to look at that. Yeah, probably the most satanic-y, culty, true Norwegian black metal album that the band ever did before they ventured into what Immortal became with their black metal fantasy style of music. Do you know what I mean? This came out on July 1st, 1992, so it's right in the peak of all the Norwegian, you know, true Norwegian black metal era. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, after this album, Pure Holocaust is quite, you know, culty black metal as well. But then once the Heart of Winter turns up, everything turns a bit more fancy, power metal-esque. You know what I mean? In terms of content. But yeah, if you want immortal black metal, this is the one for you, honestly. 1992, just what more do you want? The Call of the Winter Moon, fantastic stuff. Honestly, one of their cult classics. Unholy Forces of Evil, Cryptic Winter Storms is great. Blacker Than Darkness, Cold Winds of Funeral Dust, just the song names in themselves. So it sounds like a Dark Throne album, to be honest. Yeah, and the final song, A Perfect Vision from the Rising Northland. You see, like, it's kind of already touching base into the power metal world. You know, that sounds very Viking-y, but honestly, for pure black metal, this is a fantastic album. For the second eye, Immortal Full Moon, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. And Nightwish. We're going with Dark Passion Play. Now, normally I would show my favorite album, Imaginarium, but like I say, it's my favorite one, and I talk about it quite a lot. So I'll give light to Annette's other album. So Nightwish have had 3 singers now. They've got Tarja on the first chunk, and then you have Annette in the middle, which is where I found the band, this album and Imaginarium that comes afterwards. And then you have Floor Jansen, who's the current singer from Endless Forms up until now. You know, she's still the singer. People shit on Annette for being the weakest singer. I don't think so. She's got some amazing stuff in the Nightwish catalogue, and even her solo stuff as well is great, and the Dark Element stuff that she does too. Go listen to it. Yeah, this is up until, oh no, it still might be actually. This is definitely Nightwish's darkest album and possibly heaviest, because it's fresh after Tarja left the band, so everyone's in a bit of a somber, dark and depressed mood, and it definitely reflects on the album. Just going off the song, The Poet and the Pendulum, the big 13-minute album opener, just that in itself is enough to really set the tone for the album. Bye Bye Beautiful is a tiny bit corny in terms of how it sounds, but once you get used to it, I think it sounds really, really cool. I'm assuming that's another song that's, you know, directed towards Tarja, Bye Bye Beautiful. Amaranth, Great song, great single. You know, it's kind of in the same vein. Like, it kind of reminds me of Nemo. It could fit in the same vein as Nemo. And then everything else is just, I think, just, this is such a good album, honestly. Cadence of a Last Breath is awesome. Master Passion Greed is kind of, I wouldn't say doomy, but it's slow and it's powerful. The chorus is powerful. Eva, one of the most beautiful songs ever written. I wish I could write something like that. Sahara is just fun. I like Sahara as well. It's great. Whoever Brings the Night, a bit faster, a bit more, not chaotic, but yeah, a bit more up-tempo, that one. For the Heart I Once Had, another mid-tempo, build-up type of powerful song. The Islander, the acoustic little, I'll say it's a ballad, but it's definitely the most folky, the most acoustic song on the album. It's so, so good. Marco does some singing on that, it's great. Last of the Wilds, folky instrumental with the same little figure just repeating over and over again. And then Days to the Wolves, and 7 Days to the Wolves, and Meadows of Heaven. Honestly, super stacked. I hate people that shit on it. Both Dark Passion Play and Imaginarium, the other one, are top shelf Nightwish albums. Imaginarium for me is number 1, and I'm pretty sure this is number 3 from what I remember correctly. If you haven't heard in Nightwish, go listen to it, man. She's honestly so good. She's not a soprano like Talia, and that makes it nice for me. So yeah, N, Nightwish, Dark Passion Play. T, Typo Negative, Bloody Kisses, one of my more prouder vinyls to own, if I'm honest. This is the 30th anniversary Suspended in Dusk edition. It's green. I'm not going to get the vinyls out because I cannot be bothered. Yeah, one of Typo's best albums, if not the best. I've got this ranked at number 2. I personally slightly prefer October Rust in my opinion, but still, this one is the perfect blend of like punky from the earlier stuff that Typo did, and also a perfect blend from the gothic stuff that they will do later, like on October Rust and World Coming Down and all that stuff. Christian Woman, which is fantastic. You know, Jesus Christ Looks Like Me, great stuff. Bloody Kisses, A Death in the Family. Too Late, Frozen, Blood Fire, Can't Lose You. It's honestly so fun. Summer Breeze, which is the cover. There's random covers on these albums, which is great fun. Set Me on Fire, Suspended in Dusk, and then it ends with Black Number 1. Honestly, it's funny, on the CD, on the Spotify album, on the track listings, Black Number 1 is the second song on the album, but on here they've got it as track 4. So I wonder if they've done that on purpose to make you listen to the whole album just so you can get through to their best song. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, is it Too Late, Frozen, Blood and Fire? I think it might be, I can't remember exactly, but one of them is like super punky, and it really just, it's loud and it's aggressive, but yeah, it's a staple of 90s gothic rock metal. It's fun. Typos for T, Typos, Bloody Kisses. And for the third I had to go with Iron Maiden again because I was sort of running out of ideas, but rather than pulling out Power Slave and pulling out Number and pulling out the debut, which are all the ones I talk about, I'm going to talk about my favorite 21st Century Maiden album, and that is A Matter of Life and Death from 2006. This is an unofficial concept album, you could say, and rightly so. Look at the album cover. It's just one of the more intense album covers that Maiden have ever done. It's a long album. It's like 70s progressive infused. It's 70 minutes as well. But I honestly think this album is just incredible. Do you know what I mean? Like, for a 21st Century Maiden album who have definitely got a formula, like when it comes to writing albums and songs now, this one just stacks, man. This is 20 years next year. I can't believe that. Different World, fantastic single. One of the best and one of the coolest openers. These Colors Don't Run, love that song. The Wohos in that, I'm just a sucker for. Brighter Than a Thousand Suns is probably one of the more skippable ones. For me, it's just the vocal delivery, to be honest. But The Pilgrim, The Longest Day and Out of the Shadows, beautiful stuff. I love that one. The Pilgrim starts the same way as Rihanna's Umbrella does. You know, it's funny you play that around pop fans and they think, oh, Rihanna. Reincarnation of Benjamin Brigg, good driving song that. For the Greater Good of God, come on, man. You can't knock this album because of that song alone. For the Greater Good of God is one of the best Maiden songs of all time. I'm sorry, it is. Lord of Light and The Legacy. The Legacy is a great ending song. I think that's amazing, yeah. If you've only delved into Maiden's 80s, I would highly recommend you keep going and you get into the 2000s stuff. Yeah, the 90s stuff is questionable, but I enjoy it because I'm a diehard Maiden fan. But yeah, this is their peak of 21st century, in my opinion. That's the third and final Iron Maiden, A Matter of Life and Death. For the letter R, we're going to be cheeky. We're going for my album. Yeah, I will plug my album wherever I can. So this is the debut project of my one-man band, Rusty Darlington persona thing. This is the music encapsulated on it. So This is a one-man band project. This came out in June 2023, just before my boy was released. Just before my boy was born. I had to rush to get this done and like really focus to get it finished. Otherwise, if it wasn't done before Ollie was born, it would never have seen the light of day. So this album is just me having some fun with the music that I enjoy listening to. So there's a lot of inconsistency on it, you could say. Like there's an intro track. The first song is called Intro, which is like a 2-minute folky hurdy-gurdy melody. And then the second song is Black Flag, which I wrote about 10 years ago now. Going off the album cover, you can tell it's quite pirate infused. I've got 3 pirate metal songs on here, if you include the intro. Black Flag is that, yeah. Chaos Reigns is a thrash-inspired instrumental. There's no singing on that. Spirit Witch is a full-blown second wave black metal song. That was awesome. Santa Sima Trinidad is an 8.5-minute pirate metal epic. I love that one. That one's probably my favorite. The Upflowing River is a little instrumental tappy thing, and then The Wish of Our Dreams is a 10-minute symphonic metal song. So yeah, if that sounds like you, like I say, it's all done at home. I'm not a singer per se. I'm not a audio engineer. I'm not a mixer. So it was done all at home by me. So if it sounds shit, yeah, that's why. It's because I'm not professional. But yeah, this album is available to purchase as well if you want to. Just quick plug there. If you want to buy this after you listen to it and you think you love it so much you want to own it, you can buy it on vinyl, you can buy it on CD. The link's in the description for that if you want it. But yeah, the R is my album, Rusty Darlington. And then the final one, E, I've gone for Evanescence's Fallen because it's an iconic album and I don't actually have that much E either. So I was like, yeah, let's show this one. So this one's a nostalgic album. Obviously, this one was a big one for me growing up because, well, I say it was a big one growing up for me. It wasn't the biggest album I listened to growing up, but I definitely had friends who were obsessed with this album, so it was kind of always around. Side 1 for me is definitely stronger than side 2, just because it's obviously single stacked, but there are some hidden gems on side 2 as well. Going Under, Bring Me to Life, obviously. Everybody's Fool, My Immortal is great. Tourniquet, fantastic song there, and Haunted is nice too. But weirdly enough, that's the end of side 1. While it's so stacked, my favorite song is actually the first song on side 2, which is called Imaginary. I think that one's just beautiful. I've loved that one for years. What's annoying about this though is on the CD, Tourniquet and Imaginary, they flow into one song. It's like Holiday and Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's one song. But on the album, that's where the vinyl splits and you have to turn it over. So it's really annoying that it fades out and fades back in. But yeah, minor gripe on such an incredible album. Hello is a beautiful, sad, melancholic song, but it's honestly so nice. My Last Breath and Whisper are great as well. Yeah, probably don't need you to check this one out, but if you're new to metal and you're getting into like, you know, different styles of it, this one gets dubbed a nu metal album purely because there's a rap section in Bring Me to Life, which is just dumb and pointless, like to call it nu metal. There's no other rapping on the album anywhere. It's more gothic than nu, but yeah. If you want something a bit more edgy, a bit more gothic and symphonic, try this one out. You'll like it. Evanescence, Fallen. And booyah, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we spell Levi McIntyre in heavy metal albums. Like we said at the start, congratulations to 5,000 subs, my man. Can't wait to see your channel grow and grow and grow. Always here to support you. Love what you do. Love your reviews. Love your rankings. I haven't watched your Nile one yet, but I'll get onto that shortly, I promise. Levi's channel is down below. Go subscribe. Go join his cult of videos. It's always good fun. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me while I sit here and take you through Levi's name in heavy metal albums. Keep an eye out for the next video. Well, after you've done subbing him, come back to my channel and then sub to me, because why not, right? Yeah. Keep an eye out for the next video. I'll have some more up soon. Don't worry about it. But until that happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe, jam some albums, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.